From the littlest of bikers to the most adventurous of hikers, the Camelbak Mini MULE is our go-to pick for kids' hydration packs. After testing over 20 different packs for kids of various ages, the Mini MULE wins our praise for its reliable ease of use for all types of kids. Here are 5 things you need to know about the Camelbak Mini MULE. Number 1, storage capacity. From water to snacks or even small toys, the capacity of the Mini MULE is enough to bring along the essentials without being a full-sized backpack. The bladder capacity is 1.5 liters, which should be plenty for young hikers and riders. Your average adult pack is about 2 liters. There are 2 zippered pockets, one up top and one on the front. The front pocket has a smaller interior mesh pocket for little items. The front of the pack is a pouch that can extend to be used to stuff slightly larger bring-alongs like a light jacket. Number 2, size. Some parents are concerned that a child's hydration pack is a bad investment because kids outgrow everything so quickly. But the Mini MULE can be used on a very wide range of ages. We've used it with our kids ages 2 to 11. According to Camelbak, the Mini MULE is designed to fit kids with torsos from 12 inches to 16 inches. A child around 7 or 8 typically has a 12-inch torso. That said, the Mini MULE was a pretty respectable fit for our 2.5-year-old that has an 8-inch torso. And on the older and taller end, our 11-year-old used the Mini MULE up to very recently. That said, if you're in the market for a new pack, we generally recommend purchasing a small adult pack like the Camelbak Charm for kids about 9 or 10 years old and older. Number 3, fit. Recommended torso lengths are provided to prevent the pack from being too long on the child. A pack that is too long will hang down over the child's bum, causing the pack to bounce around when walking or hiking. When biking, however, a pack hanging down past their bum isn't as problematic as the pack doesn't bounce. Our littlest 2-year-old tester had no problems with the pack when riding. Although when the bladder and the pack are fully loaded, the pack does slightly bounce around when she's walking. As an FYI, the Osprey Moki and the Thule uptake are the same length as the Mini MULE and sit at a similar position on the child. The chest strap on the Camelbak Mini MULE doesn't cinch as tightly and also doesn't slide up as high as the chest strap on the similarly sized Osprey Moki and Thule uptake. As a result, on smaller kids, the shoulder straps can't be pulled inward enough for the most comfortable position. While not ideal, it's worth dealing with due to the other awesome features of this pack. Number 4, it's all about the bite valve. Speaking of awesome features, with all those details established, let's get to the heart of why the Camelbak Mini MULE is our favorite hydration pack for kids. It's all about the bite valve. All other features play a very minor role if the bite valve doesn't work. If a pack is always leaking or the child can't get water out without any assistance, then what's the point of buying a hydration pack? The main problem with kids is that they often chew on the bite valve. It is not uncommon for a kid to puncture their pack's bite valve the very first time they use it, and that applies to all brands. Once punctured, the bite valves can no longer hold suction, and the valves will continually drip when the pack is in use. So the real question is how functional the pack is without a bite valve, or with a bite valve with a minor puncture. The answer to this is in the design of the on-off switches on the valves. On-off switches allow you to stop all water from entering the bite valve. When switched to off, water will not drip out even if the bite valve is punctured or removed. The switch on the Camelbak's valve is easier for kids to use than the switch on the Osprey and most other packs. It's also easier to tell if the valve is turned on or off. The Camelbak switch is a large gray lever and easily folds forward to turn off and back to turn on. The Osprey valve requires you to twist the plastic housing to the left or right, which requires fine motor skills that young kids may struggle with. If your bite valve gets so chewed up that it becomes useless or a choking hazard, you can easily take off the rubber mouthpiece and just use the Camelbak's plastic spout. The long plastic cylindrical tube of the Camelbak spout makes it much easier to drink from compared to Osprey's shorter spout if you decide to take off the rubber bite valve. Just remember to train your child to lock the bite valve so it doesn't drip. Number 5, cooling. A note about airflow and cooling options. The rear of the Mini MULE is composed of a soft and padded, sturdy material that is covered in thick mesh but does not have vents to allow for airflow. For those who live in a really hot climate, if your kids are not chewers, the Osprey Moki is better ventilated and would be a better choice. Bonus: how do you fill a Camelbak Mini MULE hydration pack? While not a determining factor in your purchase decision, are you wondering how in the world you fill this thing with water? Don't worry, it's super simple, just 5 easy steps. Number 1. Remove the reservoir from the pack. This requires you to unhook the top of the reservoir from the yellow loop. Number 2, hold onto the handle and unscrew the round plug from the front. Number 3, fill with water until your desired fill line. Number 4, screw the round plug back in. Number 5, reinsert the pack into the back with the screw-on lid facing the front. Make sure to reattach the top to that yellow band. So what's the bottom line? The Camelbak Mini MULE is our favorite hydration pack for kids, especially for those who are likely to chew on the bite valve. Whether you use the Mini MULE with or without a bite valve, the pack works great and is so easy to use.